It is very much needed. I see the young family coming in. They've been with me for years. They discovered an app years ago
Wow.
that Google
Impressive.
purchased.
Wow. Awesome.
And I see some more students
Yeah.
coming up the escalator now. During my career in Congress, I've served as a ranking member on the Subcommittee on Research and Science Education, as the founder of the co-chair of Diversity and Innovation Caucus in the House Historically Black Colleges and University Caucus, and as chair of the Black Caucus, and co-chair of the Technology and Infrastructure Development Task Force. I have never wavered from having a laser beam interest in making sure that our young people get some inspiration from what opportunities they have for the future and for the future of our nation. It looks good when things are diverse. It's usually more productive when they are. Mm-hmm. And we've worked for years to bring about diversity in practically every way we can in this country. But now we've come to a point where it's not just to make it look good. It's because we need the brain power.
Absolutely.
Our population is growing more minority every day and more female. We need all of the brain power involved. When I came to Congress, the United States ranked 18 in math and science education in the world. Today, it's 23. We're moving, but we're moving slowly, and I'm not sure what direction, but I hope that we'll have, could you open that door and let those young people in? I hope today you will get much inspiration from our panelists who are very skilled, and we are very delighted to have them. And we have one of those people that students, when I go to high schools, that never doze on, that's always inspired by astronauts. We even have an astronaut today. I know that we still need to do so much more to ensure that we have more diversity in STEM as we do throughout our society. Our first panel today will show a huge array of diversity and choices in fields that you can excel in. All of our students here today have grown up knowing, hopefully, what STEM is and why it's important, because you've come, because you had leadership that brought you here. I don't want you to forget what you're hearing, because this is intended to increase our interest and participation in mastering STEM fields. It's really pretty simple. It's just focus. You learn to think critically. You learn to have confidence in your imaginations. Everything that we experience in life today, somebody thought about it. Everything that has been discovered, it was discovered by a human being. There's no reason in the world why you cannot be one of these people that discover something new. Just think of how far we've come. I am so delighted to see these young faces. It gives me inspiration, because when I came along as a child your age, a television was as big as this podium, with a screen about as big as this card, black and white. The first cell phone that I had, I was in the state senate. It was like a briefcase that you carried around. Now, look at this screen. You can have a television this size in your home. And they curve, and you can see more than one program at a time. Cell phones are so small, they're so varied now, and they have so many different ways in which you can use them. Let me assure you that human beings brought about that progress. Human beings just like you. And nothing stays the same. Everything has a way to go in terms of change. That change will be brought about by people like you. That's why we are so determined not to ever give up and trying to impress our young people how important you are to not only this nation, but to the world, and the opportunities you have to impact it with new products. I cannot think of any research that has been greater in producing products than our space research. And many of the companies and representatives of companies that you will meet today will not have that title in it, but they've had a hand in it. And so you can choose to be a physician, dentist, nurse, mathematician, researcher, engineer. It is unlimited what you can achieve with a good STEM background. And don't let anybody tell you it's too hard, because you can do whatever you put your mind to. I grew up with my father telling me that. Put your mind to it. You can do it. Now, I've taken up enough time. I could tell a few more stories to try to let you understand what my beginnings were. And to know that as I stand here, my admiration is not me. It's you, and it's these people here that have taken the time to come and be willing to share so that you can gain more knowledge of how you can proceed in a positive future where you can shape the world. There will be a brief break between our two panels today, and during that time, our National Association of Black Engineers, which I'm proud to say I'm an honorary life member, will be engaging our students during that period. And before we get into the discussion, allow me to introduce our moderator. Now let me tell you why I always get out of the scene. First of all, I'm an old woman. And I want young inspiration to inspire young inspiration. Because I want you to understand that there's young, smart people that I want you to notice, ask questions, and make sure that you get the best of what you can get out of them today. One of those young, smart people is our moderator today, Dr. Reagan Flowers. And we've had the privilege of hearing from Dr. Flowers at the CBCLC in the past years, and I'm so pleased she's here again with us this year. Dr. Flowers is an award-winning entrepreneur, engineer, and tech evangelist. By that I mean she never stops talking about STEM. She began her educational career as a high school science teacher and was inspired to dedicate herself to closing the STEM achievement gap. That's what I like about her. In 2002, she founded C-STEM, a C-STEM teacher and student support services. Using her own resources, it is a nonprofit organization dedicated to reducing the achievement gap in the areas of communication, science, technology, engineering, and math, C-STEM. Through focused teacher training and experimental learning for students through practical application. And because of her real, sincere interest, she invested her own resources. Today, the organization has impacted more than 200,000 students and teachers, and approximately 80% of the C-STEM student participants pursue degrees in STEM majors. She also founded the Education Consultant Services to consult on curriculum and program development, design, and evaluation, school improvement and community engagement, teacher training, and school and classroom design. Over the years, Dr. Flowers has been recognized by the White House, the World Innovation Summit in Education, and 100 women leaders in STEM, just to name a few. She is on the national board of the American Leadership Forum and continues to write and speak on the importance of closing the STEM achievement gap. Please join me as we welcome her and welcome our new students who are coming in. I hope that you will enjoy the day.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Are you guys awake? Okay, I hope I just made sure you were awake. I'm trying to, get this energy flowing because I'm very excited about this esteemed panel we have here. We have two great panels, and I'm happy to see all the brilliant minds here in the room. You young, brilliant leaders, you are the future, so we are very excited to have you here and to engage with such greatness that sits before us. And so I got everyone seated here. Yeah, very good, almost, very good. I want to thank the Congresswoman. She is fabulous. She is the ranking member of the Committee of Science, Space, and Technology. We adore all of the work she does to advocate on behalf of not just her district, but for children across our great United States. So we applaud and we appreciate all that the Congresswoman is doing on our behalf. And so I'd like to go ahead and get started here. I'm going to go ahead and introduce our panel. We're going to begin here with Rhonda Davis. Rhonda Davis is Head of Diversity and Inclusion with the National Science Foundation. Let's give an applause. We have Janet Uthman, Vice President of Inclusion and Multicultural Marketing, Comcast, Northeast Division. We have Janice Bryant Howroyd, President and CEO of the Act One Group. Talisa Tolliver, Vice President, Business Development and Commercial, Chevron Pipeline Company.
Everyone.
Crystal Bonds, Principal of the High School for Math, Science, and Engineering at the City College of New York. And there's a fan club, it sounds like, out here. And we have Carolyn Whiteman, Human Resources Manager, Project and Technology Downstream Shell. Very good. All right, and I'm going to go back here. Now, Rhonda Davis, can you tell us just a little bit about the amazing work that you're leading?
Thank you very much. Wow, I'm so excited to see these future scientists and engineers out there. You look good, and I know that's what you're going to decide to do. At the National Science Foundation, I'm responsible for diversity and inclusion initiatives to make sure that our mission is delivered in a way that we can get that $7.2 billion of science research out to each of the institutions that come to us to be funded. And one day I hope you are out there trying to get some of that money. I would like to share a video that will give you a little quick background about what you could do in the future and the importance of it and why and where and why you fit into that role.
Okay. You know, technology has to think.
That's a- See why I was thinking.
I'm gonna go to the minimize here, and we're gonna make that thing work here. We're gonna find it.
Let's do my
Here
other
we
part.
go.
Okay.
I think I got you. That buffering, okay. Here we go. I'm gonna enlarge that.
Oh, I know my minute's gone.
Okay, we have it buffering here. It's so many of us online right now.
Sorry.
Here we go.
This is about discovery,
Pushing the edge of the known.
changing the way we live.
Did you ever use a CD, cell phone, barcode, that thing they call the internet?
Maybe a touchscreen, LED lights, a web browser, GPS.
Ever get an MRI, do a Google search, check a weather forecast?
Every one of those things improved on or made possible by fundamental research supported by the National Science Foundation.
And there's also 3D printing, laser eye surgery, safer cars,
New bicycle tools, improved disaster preparedness.
even disease-resistant bees.
Today, NSF supports people and places to develop tomorrow's scientists and engineers
And create new knowledge in fields from A to Z.
to help us understand our world, solve societal challenges, spur, innovate, and improve our lives.
The National Science Foundation supports fundamental research,
Insights,
ideas
breakthroughs,
that ultimately create jobs, help drive our economy,
enhance our nation's security.
and advance our knowledge to keep us a global leader,
NSF supports fundamental research in people
to unlock the secrets of science.
and create knowledge that transforms our future.
All right.
Thank you. And that could be you.
That's transforming our future. I love it. Thank you so much, Rhonda, for sharing that with us, and we will hear more from Rhonda as we go along this morning. And now, let's see here, I'm gonna minimize this, and I'm gonna go here to Comcast, and I'm gonna enlarge this slide. All right, take it away, share with us a little bit about the amazing things you're doing.
Great. Well, thank you all for having me here this morning, and thank you so much, Congresswoman Johnson. I am honored to be here and speaking before you. So I wanted to put this slide up here just to show you a little bit about Comcast. A lot of times when I go out, more often than not, I say I work for Comcast, people think it's just the cable company. How many of you know that Comcast, NBC, Universal, that we own NBC and all of those cable networks up there? I see like maybe 10 hands in the room. How many of you know that we own a film studio, Universal Films? How many of you know that we own Universal Parks? Not many. So when I talk Comcast, I'm talking the entire portfolio. We have jobs across every one of those organizations up there. We're hiring computer science majors. We're hiring engineers in each of these entities. And so I want you to think broadly, not just the cable guy, but I want you to think across NBC Universal as a whole. We need people to program Harry Potter. We needed the mind to create that theme ride at the park, and all the virtual reality that goes on at the park as well, and the film studio. So I just wanted to let you know about the diversity of careers that we have at Comcast. And I wanted to show a quick video, because this is a program that I'm proud of in the Northeast Division. I'm trying to give students that otherwise may not have an opportunity for a career at Comcast, an opportunity to enter through our technical program. And we do most of our hiring on the cable side within, so 80% of our roles we hire and promote within. So if you start at our technical career, you could end up running one of our cable operations. So I just wanted to show a quick video to highlight.
Okay, and your video title,
Actually, it was in it was linked to
It's
Xfinity
linked
in
to
the
it?
slide.
All
yeah.
right,
So if you go back
fantastic.
to the slide and just click
okay,
Xfinity. Yeah.
okay. do it. Perfecto. Technology. Took me out.
Okay.
No
And then
hyper.
just click upper left-hand corner there, Xfinity.
Here.
Should be right there.
There it is.
There you go.
Found it. Teamwork makes the dream work.
Exactly.
There you go.
Okay.
Maybe we'll-
Yeah, that's-
You have to let it buffer a little bit there.
go.
Well, if not, if we can't show that, maybe I'll talk about a couple of our opportunities.
Yeah.
Okay, no worries, so no video, but that's okay. So just to let you know, if you're interested in roles at Comcast, so think about majoring in calculus or engineering, science in college. We do offer rotational programs through Comcast Corporate, which is in Philadelphia. You can rotate through Universal and any one of the cable properties that I have up on the screen, or the film division. So we have rotational programs, but at a high school level, I would encourage you all to become involved in robotics. We sponsor over 1,000 students across the company, across Comcast, NBC, Universal. So that is a great way to get involved at Comcast career. So just wanted to highlight some of those careers for you. So with that.
All right, thank
Oh.
you. And perhaps we
Hold it
can
up.
get back to that video in a later point. Very good, and it's always great to know about all the other options that STEM has to offer. We can sometimes think very narrow in that space, but there are so many awesome jobs and opportunities for you out there, and so I definitely want you guys to look more closely at all that Comcast has to offer. And here we have, next, we have Janice Bryan Howroyd.
Good morning, students. I don't want to sound like that old school teacher, the type that I had when I was going to school in North Carolina so many years ago, but I do want to bring the value of those old school teachers to you today as we discuss the new world, the world of STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. And so I'm going to ask you to do something that you may find you need a moment of trust to do. I'm going to ask you to repeat something after me. I'm going to ask you to repeat two things that I think are really fundamental as we discuss anything around your excitement and your engagement in the STEM world. The first thing I want you to repeat after me is, I have everything I need, to be everything I need to be. I'm a woman near 70 years old, and when my parents raised the 11 of us in a home in Tarboro, North Carolina, they would have us repeat that before we'd say prayer at night or before we'd say grace before eating. I don't know what your personal process is in your lives, but I will tell you, regardless of how you approach life, culturally or professionally, you need to understand that before you understand anything else. And the work that the Congresswoman is doing to ensure that you have that opportunity is tremendous this morning, and I'm honored to be a part of it. This past year, actually within this year, 3 months ago, I think, the president appointed me on his HBCU Board of Advisories. All of you are familiar with what HBCUs are. Yes? If you are, raise your hands. Thank you, because many of you, I pray, will be attending them. And I salute the HBCUs for also working with you. I understand Howard has a team of students in here this morning. And Bisons, you'll be playing us at North Carolina A&T for our homecoming.
Yes, they will. And thank you, Janice. We're going
Yes.
to move on. And we want to make sure we get everybody here, but I want to show this video before we go anywhere. So that if you would just allow me to jump in, because this is an amazing video, and I want to make certain we get this up and
She's
rolling.
the founder of a corporate empire worth over $3 billion.
Act
One is one of the largest staffing companies in the United States.
She's taken on the corporate world. Now, Janice Bryan Howroyd is ready to share her secrets for success.
I'm from a small town, Tarboro, North Carolina. There are 11 children in our family. Our mom and dad ran a family like a business. Dad was the president and mom was the COO. And I think a lot of what I learned about life and about business, I learned from how my home operated. Dad always taught us, don't look around you to see what your opportunities are. Look inside yourself for them. We really grew up with that. For me, the moment was defining what I would do. And that occurred in Los Angeles.
In 1978, Janice parlayed $1,500 and a single phone line
Our first office was actually the front of a rug shop.
into a global staffing and technology empire worth over $3 billion.
My first big customer is still one of my best customers. Mama was right. If you treat them right, they stay with you.
Named one of Essence Magazine's 50 most inspiring African Americans and Ebony's 100 most influential Black Americans. A committed volunteer and mentor who's helped thousands realize their own dreams.
In order for mentoring to be effective, it also has to be an equal investment. Let's flip over and now let's start to see what you bring to the relationship.
She's already a sought-after motivational speaker.
I want you to applaud yourselves right now. Let's do it. Come on.
Talk show guest.
We have to think of ourselves as entrepreneurs.
And an expert on success.
I've got a lot of years, 30 years of experience building a business successfully. Those are experiences that people need to hear about, need to know about, and most importantly, they can learn from them. Never once have I changed anybody's life. What I do believe I've done is encouraged, inspired, and shown people how to change their own lives. I will not participate with the naysayers who say it's over for America or it's over for the American worker. What I say is, look at what we've really got working for us and put that to work.
Janice is ready to help America find success and balance in their own lives.
I just can't wait to help people to understand what my journey is like and more importantly, what their journey can be like.
Pass the microphone now to Lisa Tolliver, who's heading up as Vice President, Business Development and Commercial Chevron Pipeline Company.
So that's a tough act to follow, isn't it? My friend, love her to death here.
We are friends.
We are. First, and I'm going to repeat this, I would like for each one of you students to realize that you have everything within you now to be successful in whatever you want to do. You have that. No one is smarter than you. No one can outwork you. But you have to start out with the right foundation. It's estimated that 75% of U.S. students are not proficient in math when they enter high school. Currently, 20% of all U.S. jobs require knowledge of one STEM field or another. So how many here in the room want to make 25 to 30% less than everybody else? Anybody? So to the extent that you have the functional discipline and proficiency in math as a foundation for whatever it is that you want to work on, whether it's engineering, sciences, whatever it is, you need the base foundation of math. And one of the opportunities I want to highlight to you, and because I want to give you a practical example, is the educational outreach program called Fab Labs. And Fab Labs are being adopted by schools for project-based, hands-on STEM education, rather than relying on a fixed curriculum. Students go through a cycle of imagination, design, and prototyping to find solutions and challenges to bring your ideas to life. My company, Chevron, just announced a $10 million grant to establish Fab Labs in our areas of operations. One of them is Washington, D.C. Santa Clara, Richmond, and Bakersfield, California, in the Pittsburgh tri-state area. And then there are additional Fab Labs in New Orleans, opening up in November, in Midland, Odessa, Texas, in February of 2017, in Houston, and in Pascagoula, Mississippi. Let me tell you, if you get a chance to participate in any of these Fab Labs, you will never forget it. You will never, ever experience anything like the kind of education that these Fab Labs will help you to bring your ideas to life and ultimately monetize those ideas. So I'm going to give you the website, which is www.fablabdc.org. Or you can email info@fablabdc.org. So we understand that it's a collective effort for us in this room to get where we need to get to. And so we need to partner with the educational organizations, government officials, nonprofits, and community leaders to increase access to and improve the quality of education, career and technical training, which is critical to produce a workforce that can compete in the global workforce. And I'm getting a stop sign, but here's the thing that I want to tell you. If you get an opportunity, I want to provide you with something practical that's going to help you. Look up Fab Lab and join one of those, and you'll benefit from it. Thank you.
Fab Lab, I love it. Okay, look that up, guys and girls. All right. And we're going to move forward here to Crystal Bonds.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And first, I'd like to thank Congresswoman Johnson for having me on the panel with the opportunity to be here with these distinguished guests and to speak about something that's so dear to my heart. But before I begin, I have to say a disclaimer. I work for the New York City Department of Education, so everything that I speak about is my opinion and not that of New York City. So just wanted to make sure I said that. But my name is Crystal Bonds, and I'm the principal of the High School for Math, Science, and Engineering at the City College of New York, one of the top STEM schools in the country. And we have lots of students of color, and I'm on the front lines with teaching and learning and preparing students for STEM. And some of our students are students of color and high achieving and low income. I am also the president of the Class Coalition, and that's an organization whose goals are to increase the school to workforce pipeline, as well as to advocate for high achieving low income students and to close that gap from income gap. But I would like to give you some stats as to why we chose this. We know that the excellence gap, which is for high and the income gap, it exists on a couple of levels. Globally, the US students are 20th, 23rd, and 30th in reading, science, and math. And in the US, only 16% of high school seniors are proficient in math, and even fewer graduate in STEM careers. And then when we look at students of color, the numbers are even more abysmal. And this gap gets even larger when you look at colleges and universities. Out of the top 91 colleges, only 3% of those students in those colleges are from low income. Now, by 2020, a few things are going to happen. First, 8 out of the 10 jobs will be STEM related. And there's an estimated 1 million STEM jobs that are going to be available, with the prediction of only 450,000 people to fulfill that job. You guys are going to have jobs that haven't even been created yet. So at the Class Coalition, our job and what we'd like to do is to make sure that we're preparing and helping to create that pipeline we're making the students more employable. And
we're wrapping it up.
Wrap it up. Okay. Well, we'll talk more about it, but I'm just happy to be here and hope to hear from my fellow CBC goers to, help to partner together to work with you all. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, and you will hear more. Yes, you will. Very good. And now we're going to our guest here on the end, Carolyn Whiteman. Please share with us.
Yeah. Good morning, students. As an HR manager for Shell, one of my roles is to attract and retain and develop technical talent. So I just wanted to highlight a few of the ways that Shell sponsors programs in the community to attract students of color into the oil and gas industry. We have what's called the robotics competition. We have a Shell Eco Marathon. We have geosciences programs. We also partner with 4 high schools in the Houston area, high schools that have mostly underrepresented students that are in the STEM fields, and we bring them in during the springtime to actually shadow our engineers at Shell for a period of time, about 6 weeks. And the intent is to have those students partner with the engineers to see what they do on a day-to-day basis. At the end of the summer, there's a scholarship program that we sponsor, and then the intent is to influence those students to go into the STEM field and eventually have them join Shell. We also have partnerships with our teachers as well to get teachers excited about teaching math and science in the classroom. We realize that it's a partnership between students, parents, and teachers, so we want to make sure that we see that end-to-end pipeline. And what I wanted to leave you with is the fact that everyone in here has potential and your opportunities are unlimited. So we look forward to having you join the oil and gas industry or any STEM career in the future, and we're here for all of your questions afterwards. Thank you.
Well, that's awesome. I appreciate all of this information. There's so many opportunities out here, and you all have shared some resources already. And so teachers that are here with your students, we will make certain that after today's session, this information will be sent to you. Audra will make sure that that happens. She is fabulous. She connects the dots, and so she will make certain she does that for you. We got happy teachers over here clapping. And if I could, just really quickly, I'd like to do a roll call. So on a count of 2, I want to hear what schools are represented here. 1, 2. Yeah, we got all of that. All right, fantastic. This is a very beautiful, beautiful audience. And what I'd like to do is we like to move forward with some questions and kind of get and really engage with you guys a little bit more, because I think that it's really critical that you all leave with information that you can really utilize to help you with next steps. We can talk about the statistics. We can talk about the needs, right? We can talk about you need to do STEM, but we have to create a pathway for you to get there, to be able to connect to the opportunities. And then we've got to prepare you to be able to compete, to be successful with rigorous coursework, to be able to stay the course and finish and succeed and do well. And so what I'd like to do is have the panel share very briefly, as we are wanting to make sure that we have ample amount of time for all that we want to share today. Share with the students here, what do they need to do to get out here and participate in STEM? What opportunities do you know that are available for these students? If I have any panels members that would like to speak to that. Yes.
Well, I would like to talk about 2 things. First, I'd like to share what we're doing at Class Coalition. We are an organization of 100 principals. And what we're doing is creating a virtual platform so that we can connect students to businesses, again, so that you can get internships and mentors. So we're in the process of creating that platform, as well as we are in the process of having webinar series so that teachers and school leaders can look at these webinar series about what it is that we're doing in our schools to increase our workforce pipeline. And we're also looking for businesses to partner with us, because we have these schools, and then when we get to the businesses, some businesses are saying that they are lacking ingenuity. So we'd like to partner with other businesses to help create all of these things that we're doing. Additionally, your teachers have this green form, this green 2-pager. And what I've done is given you lots of websites that you can look at, everything from dictionary.com to each day get a different word of the day, to summer camps. Make your summers count. Your summers, when you think that sometimes you don't even know what you don't know. What is it like in a day of a life of an engineer? Here are some websites that you can look for. There are scholarships that you can do. There are free camps. And if you need to speak to and understand why you need to do this, on the back of this form, you will see lots of statistics as to why student diversity is so important for everyone. In addition, for more importantly, when we think about science and technology, you like to have the television, so why aren't we at the table and helping to make these decisions? So make your summers count, and here's some resources.
Thank you, Ms. Bonds. I appreciate that. Any other opportunities that you all like to share? I know we talked, Talisa shared about these fabulous labs that are out here. Any other opportunities? Shell had a list up there on that slide. Would you like to share more?
Yeah, definitely. So we have a list of programs that we have focused in the Houston, New Orleans area that we're hoping to replicate across the country. But the website I wanted to share with you guys was www.shell.us/energize your future. And on that website, you can go in and actually discover what are STEM careers, discover some of the things that we're doing in the STEM industry, and just it's for students and for parents and for teachers.
Thank you. And Ms. Howroyd, would you like to add to that?
Thank you. I want to talk with you about your opportunity as a career in STEM and some of the things you can do. First, have a discipline when you're online. When you're engaging in social media, you don't get to take it back. Whether you start directly as an entrepreneur or you get a job later or you get an internship, you are going to be visited by that employer or by that customer on social media. They're going to look for you. You don't get to take it back. And some of you have seen the train wrecks that have occurred in people's lives because they've not understood how to discipline themselves on social media. You will not be forgiven later for the social media mistakes you make today. So be very careful about social media. Second, take care of your health. I don't care how smartly your brain can function. It's not going to work if you're not taking care of your health. So have some discipline in how you're feeding yourselves and how you're treating yourselves. And thirdly, make sure you're thinking about everything. Just because you like it doesn't mean it's going to be great for you. Consider every opportunity at this point in your lives. Most of these companies up here are my customers. They want healthy, happy people building their companies, and you can work with them as your own employee or as their employee, but none of it's going to work if you're not optimally in the position to take advantage of it yourselves. Last thing I want to tell you is the second thing I would have said earlier, and that is, what your mind can conceive and believe, you can achieve. Repeat it with me and make it personal. What my mind can conceive and believe. What my mind I can achieve. As one of 11 kids growing up in Tarboro, North Carolina, all those years today, and helping some of the finest company build workforce solutions throughout 19 countries today, none of it would have happened if I hadn't believed it, and I was no better positioned than you. What you can conceive and believe, you will achieve.
Thank you. Very good. Very well. And I'm going to have one other panelist respond, and then we're going to take some questions from the audience. We'd love to hear from the students. It's all about you, and so we want you to have your time to ask whatever burning questions you have of our panelists. So, Rhonda, would you please share?
Sure, I'll be real quick. I would like to share maybe a non-traditional approach that maybe you haven't thought about in the federal government. If you think of nsf.gov at the National Science Foundation, we have a careers web page where we have students and recent graduates. You can volunteer for the federal government and get exposure to different scientists and decide what discipline you may be interested in. You can be a pathway student and do a summer intern or work while you're in school. So please think of some of those alternatives also.
Okay, we have questions here, so I want to have students line up over here, if you can, to the left of my left. You're right, if you have a burning question, we'd like for you to have your opportunity to ask those questions, because it's rare that you will be in a space with such greatness.
My name is Daryl Hawkins. I go to Drew Freeman Middle School, and I'm in the 8th. I wanted to know who created STEM.
STEM, wow, let's see. Who wants to take a stab at that? We can look at all of the great scientists and mathematicians from history. Because STEM is an acronym. It consists of many things. That's science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And so you have to go back to the very beginning of time with our great founders who have led the way historically in research in those areas. And so I would say, and you all join in, and if you want to share anything else to add to that, but you have to go and look further into your textbooks at the founding founders who have led the way, as far as the Da Vinci, and looking at their work. And what you'll find with STEM as a methodology being integrated, it's a process, it's a way of learning, it's how these subjects come together to be applied to solve problems and to exist in our world. So is there anyone else here on the panel that'd like to add to that? That's perfect.
I was just going to say, in my day, it was called MESA, Math, Engineering, and Science, and I was involved in that in high school. My dad was an engineer, my brother was an engineer. So whatever it is called, ensure that you study one of those fields. I was a math geek.
Right.
So,
yes.
And I want to see more females involved in math as well, because you can do, as one of our esteemed panelists mentioned, anything that you put your mind to, anything.
That's right. Thank you. Next question.
Yeah. So just say your name, your grade, and your school. Hi, my name is Ayana. I go to McKinley Tech, and I'm in the 12th grade. And I have a IT tutor, and he didn't go to college, but he's making like a lot of money. So I wanted to know, like, how important do you really have to go to college? Like, say if you get a certification and you making a lot of money, why do you have to go to college to achieve that?
Great question, and certification is still training, but I would like to have someone from the panel address that question.
So there are so many different levels of STEM and levels of technology jobs. What happens is the highly skilled technology jobs require a college degree because it's more advanced. Having a certification can also have you to make a lot of money, but it depends. So sometimes the IT experts or a doctor, right, or an engineer, you're going to need a degree. But yes, you can make a lot of money. It just depends on what you want to do, but you have to find your sweet spot and find out what it is that you like. But yes, it's varied, but the highly of ones needs a college degree.
Very good, and understand this, and with college, it's a process of development. You've got to understand, how to be an effective communicator, how to really connect with your clients. You need to become an expert, and so whatever it takes to become that expert and the very best at what it is that you're doing, and so that people are confident in you and that you are an expert. But definitely you're going to have to do some type of higher ed, whether it is a certificate type program or a 2-year or 4-year university degree, and hopefully all the way to PhD. Good question.
Have you ever been to a doctor for any reason?
Yes.
Have you seen their certificates on the wall that proclaim not just their education, but their right to perform and work in the way they do with you?
I don't know.
More and more employers are requiring certificated people, regardless of what your skill sets are. Talent will always prevail. I'm not here to tell you the only way to achieve is to get a college education. I'm telling you the surest way to achieve is to get one. And it is much more than your academic experience that you gain from a college environment. You're also gaining cultural and personal knowledge that will stead you really well as you continue to grow into an adult and into a functioning, exciting human being.
Well said. Thank you. Thanks for that question. We'll take 2 more questions.
Hi, my name is Ayana, and I'm representing LaSalle Bacchus. And my question is, for all of you women that is up there, how was it like really a struggle for you guys to get from where you were to where you are now? And what was your progress? Like, how did you do it?
Very good question.
I can start with that question. So, absolutely great question. I think where I am now, so I head up inclusion, ensuring that people of color have an equal opportunity at our careers, including STEM careers at Comcast, and that our executives are representative of the communities in which we live and serve. So for me, this is a dream role in what I'm doing, and I envisioned it probably when I was in the 8th grade. But it started with math, frankly. I mentioned that earlier. I taught differential and integral calculus to incoming engineering students at UC Berkeley. But I did that because I had role models, and I invite all of you to seek out role models, mentors. Mine just happened to be my father and my brother who were in engineering, who said, this is easy. So it's all a matter of how you set your mind. You set your goals that you can achieve everything you want to achieve in life. 8th grade, I could see myself in a corporate role, in the role that I'm currently doing. So I'd say just start setting goals now. You're never too young, and aim high.
Very good.
For me,
I
it
have
was-
Lisa to share there.
Oh, okay.
So I'll tell you that I work in the oil and gas field, and it is a primarily white, male-dominated industry. And at the end of the day, what I had to do was to make sure that first my work spoke for itself. And so I didn't give anyone an excuse not to promote me, not to be successful. And then the other thing is I had a certain level of confidence. And you can't let people tell you that confidence is arrogance or anything else. It's confidence. And so I backed up that confidence with the work that I did, and regardless of what happens, I just kept going forward. And she just talked about goals. You have to have those goals, and anytime there's a setback, you take a look at it, you learn from it, and you keep it moving. And so it is, I wouldn't call it a struggle. I would just say it's what we have to do to succeed wherever we are. And so I would just say, let your work speak for itself. Right now you're in school, let your academic results speak for themselves. Work very, very hard, and never let anybody tell you what you can or cannot do. And have that passion and confidence in yourself. And never let anybody tell you confidence is a bad thing. Okay.
That's right, very good. Do we have one more? Okay. And
Hello, my name is DeAndre Walters, and I'm representing Ron Brown College Preparatory. And my question is, like, when you're going into college and you guys speak a lot about math in a mathematical sense, is there, like, to get this for a scholarship, you get a math scholarship. Is it possible to get this math scholarship and go into a different, like, I guess, like, career or major? Do you prefer that, or do you prefer someone coming in with saying want to be a lawyer, getting a criminal justice scholarship or something such as that?
Okay, I'll speak from an employment perspective. We find full-time jobs and employment and work with independent contractors, which means they're self-employed people, in a big way in this country. And I will tell you that many of the people who are working today are working outside of what they studied, but what they studied is fundamental and transferable to what they're doing. Please don't skate away if you have a talent and an ability from studying within this STEM sector. It is a highly transferable asset for you once you begin to look and approach work.
Can I say one thing too? So I have engineers that work for me, and the best engineers are those folks that have mechanical engineering degree, electrical engineering, chemical, and then they go and get a master's in business.
Yeah.
So they're able to translate what they do every day into a business sense. So, you know, the first thing I'll tell you is follow your passion, but the second thing that I'll tell you is that having that foundation in math, in STEM discipline, and then using that to do whatever you want to do, exactly as Janisha said, is the way to go.
And if I can add to that, I am sure, Talisa, you would also agree that some of those same engineers go off to study law and become great patent attorneys.
Mhm.
So you can study in those biomedical sciences, and you go off and you can specialize as a patent attorney, and you're more specifically focused in a STEM space, and that sets you apart. So hopefully that gives you some good guidance. Thank you. That was a great question. And what we like to do at this time, and I want to let you all know, students who were in line and you didn't get your questions asked, you will have another opportunity when we go over to the next part of this morning to make certain that you get your questions answered, okay? And so what I'd like to do is have the panelists to take 1 minute to please bring any final comments, burning thoughts that you must leave with these students. We'll start here and we'll just go down the road.
Great, thank you. Well, what you've heard today is a lot about creating knowledge that is transforming our future. So I want you to think about, we do not want to be thinking about transforming our future without a diverse group of people doing that. That's where you come in here. Therefore, I'd like you to quickly imagine yourself playing Pokemon Go. And your phone is buzzing, there's a Pokemon somewhere nearby. And that nearby happens to be a university with a STEM science degree. And you heard a lot of people speak here today, and you've got a lot of power to empower your Pokeball so that it can go much further. So I want you to quickly take off your heart pursuit and chase science, technology, engineering, and mathematics Pokemons with the goal of being our future scientists. Just imagine. Thank you.
And I would say pursue STEM, pursue STEM, pursue STEM. It teaches you, that discipline teaches you to think and how to problem solve. I need more of you so you can make my job easier. I want to hire you into my organization and any one of those entities that you saw up there. So you'll help me do my job. We need you. We need people of color to enter those disciplines and succeed so that you can create the next innovation. Media, what you see on television, on the big screen, you know, we need more diverse people helping to develop that, helping to develop the product, as well as the media assets out there. So please help me make my job easier. Help me help you.
National Science Foundation says that if you have a parent in STEM or research, you're twice as likely to go into that field. But if you don't, how are you exposed? Which is why I said in the summer, whatever it is that you can do something with STEM. It is also statistically proven that if students, especially your age, have a good number sense, decimals and percentage, you do that and you get well versed in it, you will do much better on the SAT and you will do better with what things that you like, and that's in math. But pursuing STEM careers is the future. We need you, we need American ingenuity, we need your brain power. So I encourage you to do STEM. Again, when you go shopping, calculate the percent in your head, calculate the tax in your head, start using your number sense and follow someone, shadow someone in a job that you may want to do. Surround yourself by the have-dones, people who have done what you want to do.
Very good.
Good enough is not good enough for you. You are already in your future. Many people are going to be very comfortable to talk to you as students. Speak to yourself as an individual who is already on track for your future. You may live a lot longer than most people will today as we continue to advance, largely because of people who are working within the STEM sector and helping us to have healthier lives. But you are in your future. Never compromise who you are personally to become who you wish to be professionally.
Very good. Good enough is not good enough.
So I'm gonna make a quick plug for the oil and gas industry, because I want you students to realize that oil and gas is not about the gas stations. We do a lot more. So we have things like cybersecurity, exploration, drilling, environmental sciences, engineering, accounting, finance. Our industry needs the best and the brightest, and I see that in this room. And so I want you to understand, when you think about all the things that are out there, whether it's tech, high tech, whatever it is, there is very little that we don't have in the oil and gas industry. And we have a deficit of people that look like you and me, and we need you. And you want to talk to any of us, we'll be here. We've got people here. But the oil and gas industry needs you, we want you, and we need your bright minds.
Very good.
So ditto to what she just said, being that I'm in the oil and gas industry, but something I wanted to leave you guys with is the concept of not leaving each other behind. All of you that are here today probably have classmates that were not able to make it. Go back and share the information that you've learned today. And when you are successful in your roles and you do get into corporate America or whatever field that you decide to go into, make sure that you give back. Come back and give back to schools, mentor, and give back to your community. Just wanted to share that importance.
All right, very, very good. And we have a few minutes. I just want to go back to that Comcast slide. I want to see if we can get that video to work, okay? Because I just hate that. It looked like it was so great, and I really want to see if we can share that with the students. We're going to try one more time.
Download it, I'm wondering.
Yeah, still buffering. Let's see here.
Download it to your computer and try it.
Well, we're gonna keep trying. Perhaps that's what I'll do. We'll see if we can download it and we can show it before you all go, because it looks like an awesome video, and I want to make sure we have that opportunity. Let's see.
We'll work on it.
We will work on it, absolutely, we will. I want you all to please thank our guests here with our first panel. They did an outstanding job. They shared such wonderful STEM pearls of wisdom. We will have another panel. We will transition. We will have an awesome activity that will be led, I believe, by Nesby at this time. So don't run away. We've got more great stuff planned for you. Thank you all. Fabulous work. And all this information will be shared with you from the Congresswoman's office. Thank you.
Fabulous job. Fabulous.